Purushas Ayushevendriye Pratitistadi.
Yes, sir.
Then it also says, got it? It says, Pashyema Sharadam Shatam, Jivema Sharadam Shatam, Modama Sharadam Shatam. So, and one, if in order to understand, you have to know the verbs there. I think Bhavati is one verb, and as I told you right from the beginning, in the verbs, we don't assume anything. We are going to derive every word from the roots. Only thing you have to know is, when you see this verb, oh, it comes from a root called bhu. That takes time. That I'm not expecting you this class to know that. And ti tells me it's a present tense, the active voice. And bhu to exist, and when you look at the root, you have to know bunch of properties. What group of 10 groups it belongs to, and in what meaning it is used. And so basically what I'm going to give you is, I'm going to give you a process flow diagram where what you do not know here is what is the root, where it comes, what's the properties. That I'm going to give you. This is in part 2 of the book, chapter 6. And so today we did once, but I'm going to do the first 20 pages very quickly of the chapter 6 and introduce the different tenses and moods like present tense, varieties of past tenses, varieties of future tense, and method of addressing. How do you look, by looking at the root verb, how do you know this is an order? How do you know this is a blessing? How do you know it is a potential, may happen? And how do you know it has to happen? It's not potential, it likely, it is definitely will happen. So these are the present tenses and moods of operation. We're going to introduce them very quickly. Then we will do very quickly present tense of different groups and how to derive that. And so once you know this, look at this. Pashyema Sharadam Shatam. And you all, most of you know Shata, 100. And Sharadaha Shatam. Sharadaha is Sharadrutu. There is no point in saying, may you live for 100 years. You have to say, may you be able to see the 100 winters. That means you enjoy the whole year. Or Jivema Sharadam Shatam. May you live for 100 falls or winters. Modama, mud, is happiness. To enjoy. Enjoy 100 winters. So we will derive, and then he says pratitistati, and what he's saying is ayusheva indriye pratitistati. With all your indriyas working properly, may you have 100 years of. The 100 in the old days is 123. So typically, when somebody will say, we normally don't celebrate in India 100 years until they got to 123. And if you remember to have watched the movie called Nartanasala. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And,
sir.
and when Arjuna faces the army of Kauravas, when in the when Uttara Gograhanam, the moment Arjuna fires few arrows, they go and one goes in front of Bhishma, another goes in terms of Dronacharya. And Bhishma tells Dronacharya, Acharya, look at it. Partha is there, Arjuna. The moment Duryodhana hears that word, he is very happy. Because, let me see, I don't want to, we got 7 people now. Let's see who else is there. Usha Chandrika is there, and Subhashini is there. Any new people? Yeah, I can't see these names. And Usha Ella is there, and there are 2 people. Usha Chandrika, Usha, and good. So what I was telling before the other people come is this following. Typically, you see this Vedic blessing when you go to a priest, and he will bless you. Shatamanam bhavati. Shatayu purusha sevendriye ayush sevendriye pratitistati. And as I told you many, many times, all the verbs we see in the in our normal day-to-day work, we will derive them right from the roots. And that is the beauty of this. And it says, Shatamanam bhavati. Even mana is, ma is to measure. It comes in several groups. That's where the word, the term mata comes. And there is a common proverb. When the child is hungry, or when a grown-up child is hungry, mother looks at his tummy and serves the food. So mother doesn't care how much money the child earns, and she feeds without questioning. And the Shatamanam bhavati. Ma is to measure. Ma also has a different meaning. So depending upon which gana it is, which group it is. Then Shata Ayush Purushaha Shata Indriye Ayush Shevendriye Pratitistati. There is no point in blessing you, may you live for 100 years. When none of your indriyas work, you can't walk, you can't talk, you can't see, you are bedridden. That is not the goal. It's saying all your indriyas, sensory organs, work properly. You can do your job yourself. You can take care of the daily activities. You can take care of the daily activities. So may you be able to exist. It also says, pratitistati, it means to exist, to stand firmly. And the pashyema, it's an order. When somebody is blessing you, that means the person who blesses you has a power. So we'll derive all the red things here, which are verbs, we'll derive them. No.
Pashyema means looking at.
Pashya means to see. And I'm going to give you step by step. You have to be, that's why I asked you to read chapter 6, first up to 6.5. If you're not ready, it's okay. But And I understand you, most of you have a lot of other things to do, but that's the reason I repeat it many, many times. I understand. I went through that almost 15 years, 20 years back. So we did, this is an order. Pashyema Sharadam Shatam. Sharada Shatam. G is to live. That's where Jivana comes. That's where Jiva comes, Atman. And the Modama, Mud, to rejoice, to enjoy. That's another order. The one is the reason I have this Telugu one here is I teach, as you all know, Telugu poetry to seniors. So that's where I put this one there, where typically I take the Sanskrit slokas and explain to them, but since most of them cannot read Sanskrit or Devanagari, and plus there are, the reason I put Sanskrit for the Telugu class is, there are some people who can't read Telugu, it's Kannada people. That's why I put that Sanskrit one. And so we will derive all of this very quickly. But what I expect you to do is, anybody, 7:40, so we should start the class, please. So let me close this. No. Okay. New share LSG. Anybody new? There is no. I think today Balaji Garu will not be coming. He has some personal things. Welcome to this session, and let's chant our Mangala Charanam, please. Om Sakana Vavatu Sahana Gunatu Sahavir Enkaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mavidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Saraswati Namastubhyam.
Saraswati Namastubhyam.
Not Saraswati. It is a short E, addressing.
Okay.
Saraswati Namastubhyam.
Saraswati Namastubhyam.
Varade Kamarupini.
Varade Kamarupini.
Vidyarambham Karishyami.
Vidyarambham Karishyami.
Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada.
Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada.
Asatoma Sadgamaya.
Asatoma Sadgamaya.
Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya.
Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya.
Mrityorma Amrudangamaya.
Mrityorma
Amrudangamaya.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha.
Okay, today what we'll do is, I explained this before, but I'm going to go in detail. What is a prachaya? What is a agama? What is an adesha? Where do you put them? And how do you know where to put them? So we introduced it letters in the beginning, and I asked you to, whenever there is a with letter, make a write down. So initially, if you start writing down on a piece of paper 3 or 4 times, it will stick on your mind. And we will explain what is a prachaya, what is a agama, what is a adesha, and how do you know where they have to go. Then we will. I thought we'll derive everything, but we have to gradually derive these tables. but you have to remember these, the prachayas, the case endings. Su out jas, out shas, ta bhyam bhis, ne bhyam bhyah, nasi bhyam bhyas, nas os, am, ni os, sup. This su is simple su, but this su is a different su, different u. So you have to be, this u is an it letter, they dropped only, as long as you know it is a sakara, au, us, au, us. But remember, these as's are different. Then ta is a, bhyam, bhis, ne is the ye, and the bhyam, bhyas, nasi is us, and nas is also us, and vos, am, ni is kavarga nasal and e, this is e, os, and sup, pa goes away, it is su. These things you have to, as we go through, we will keep deriving them. And so we have to know, when do you use the pradhama vibhakti? It is used when the noun is in the as an agent of the verb, that is, it is instructing the verb. The reason we don't use in Sanskrit karta is, and I think I explained many times, if you take a sentence, the boy, sorry, if I write a sentence, the boy reads a book, and we translate that, you mean, here reads is a verb. And going back to the high school 9th standard or 8th standard, when you read this, the noun undergoes 7 vibhaktis depending upon in what meaning it is used. And it could be singular. In every language it is dual, sorry, in plural, but it's Sanskritam, it also dual. And Germans use that now, Germans, French, and I don't know much about Spanish, but German grammar and French grammar use that. They have singular, dual, and plural. And if you know Sanskrit grammar, reading and understanding German is very easy. Because, and then same thing with French, but pronunciation is different because they have an accent. When you write the boy reads a book, boy, this is our first thing we have to do is, you look at this, the boy is a masculine, and it is in pradhama vibhakti subject, singular. Reads, it is the, it is not obvious from English, but we know it is the third person. Sorry, where is it? Third person, singular, singular, active voice, and its present tense. Sorry. And a book is the it is the neuter, and it's an object, so it is the Ditya Vibhakti, and it's singular. And let me put books to make it more complicated. This is plural. Now, this in a simple way, here, who reads the book? The boy. Boy is a subject. It is instructing the verb. So we know the verb has to agree with the agent or a subject in person and number. You can't say the boy read the book or books, not a here. And that concept goes into in everywhere. That means when first you look at the verb, is it a singular or dual or plural? Is it a first person, second person, or third person? The reason you have to look at that is that has to agree with the subject. Now, if you put, this is a subject here. I just use the one color. Then if this is active voice. The karta is important here. So we call that as the active voice. Or in Sanskritam, it is karta is important with kartari. Sorry. Kartari prayoga. It is the karta is important here. And how do you know something is a karta? So Panini looks at every sentence and how the people were using at that time. And he says, Swatantra karta. Karta is independent. Then karmani dvitiya. The karma comes in dvitiya vibhakti. So he gives, that's how people were using it. So he puts that in. Now, when you make it into passive, the active voice means the subject comes in a pradhama vibhakti. And prayoga means voice. Some verbs do not take objects. So this to read takes an object. So then if I make it into a passive voice, this is voice in the books are read by the boy. This is the passive voice.
Now the boy becomes Vidya, sir.
Now, let's use in English. What is the subject here?
Books.
Pustaka.
So books are reading.
Are read.
Not reading. Boy is reading.
Who is reading it?
Boy.
Boy. So this is still the subject.
Oh, okay.
But now by the boy, which vibhakti it is?
Vidya.
Huh?
Vidya.
Vidya? Look at
Yes,
here.
Vidya.
Tritiya.
Yeah.
So now the books are read. So what this is now we want in a passive voice, the karma comes in a pradhama vibhakti. This is still the karma. Who reads the book? Question comes, the subject, the boy here. So karma it's called kartari prayoga, karmani prayoga.
Books, karma, sir.
Karma
is
means
karma.
object, sir.
Is an object.
అంటే మీరు ఇప్పుడు కర్మ అంటే
Yeah, this irrespective of in an active voice, the object comes in Dvitiya Vibhakti. Subject comes in a Pradhama Vibhakti.
Pradhama Vibhakti, yeah.
But in a passive voice, the subject comes in a Tritiya Vibhakti.
Yeah.
And this is subject. The books are not subject. Books are still objects.
Yeah.
And now look at this. Books is plural.
Mm.
So verb has to change to plural.
Mm.
So verb becomes, this is, reads is singular. Now if I write that here, it is in this one is neuter. Sorry. Neuter, and it is the Pradhama Vibhakti, and it is plural.
Mm.
Or read is third person. Sorry, why is my keyboard is very old like me. This is a third person. This is plural, and it is not active voice, it is passive voice. And it's a present tense. It's a present passive.
Mm.
And by the boy is the third person, is the masculine, and it is Tritiya
Vibhakti.
Masculine, Tritiya Vibhakti, and singular.
Singular.
So we are going to see this extensively later on. But the reason I'm telling you is you have to know whether the sentence is karmani, whether the karma appears to be primary, comes in a Pradhama Vibhakti, but the subject still remains the boy, though it is not in a Pradhama Vibhakti. So this is a common problem people have when it comes to Sanskritam, are active and passive voice.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what you have to know here is, okay, now you have to know the following things. When you come to roots, you have to know the roots have the roots are dhatu. And these dhatus have properties. They belong to, the first thing is they belong to a group. One of the property. Then and in Sanskritam, it's a gana. They belong to a group and it has a meaning. And then you have to know whether it takes an object or not. It is a object is a karma. It is saha karma. That means it takes an object. Or you have to know it is not a sa karma. This is sa. Or sa karma, or is akarma. It doesn't take object. And the it is actually saha. So with karma or without karma. So simple thing is, we simplify this. It is saka or aka. So when you give a root, first thing you have to know what group it belongs to. Does it take an object or does not take an object? So the moment you see it doesn't take an object, we don't look into passive voice, because there is no object cannot go back into, like a sun shines on the house. How do you put that in the passive voice? Think over writing in English. Sun shines on the house. Or we exist. Do we say existence are done by us?
Okay.
Or shining is done by sun on the house?
Okay.
So then first thing you have to know the gana and its meaning. And then you also, for every root, you have to know which are common roots. There are, we showed you there are 2,000 roots. If you know 200 roots, you achieved a lot.
The dhatu
And the
are divided into ganas, right, sir?
10 groups.
Okay.
I'm going to show you that at all.
Yeah.
Everything. First thing is you have to know what gana it is, what meaning it is used can be used. For example, I'll just give an example here. There is a root called pa. Sorry. Pa. It has two meanings. One, it means to drink. Another one is to protect. And this comes pa, and this is, if you look at the grammar books, it is pa, sorry. And it says palana poshanayoho. And immediately you say, pa means pa is used in palana, to protect, to rule, or to nourish. This palana is used in a second gana. And poshana is used in the first gana.
What is the use you said, sir? These ganas?
Gana is a group.
I know gana is a group, and they what is the help of that, sir? To identify the gana?
Identify the gana is sometimes the root gets modified before we use.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it is used there. For example, we know a root called vid, from which Veda comes. And that is in
Yeah, comes.
That comes in Vidya comes, and that is in six ganas. And different meanings. So you have to know which gana it is used in a sentence. Vid also means to exist.
Okay.
And so with, I will show you in the book you got, that part 2 of the book is so extensive.
Yeah.
And the book you got gives you, it doesn't give you a list of roots, but they are spread everywhere. And so pa, it means palana, to protect, to nourish. This one word, palana poshana yoho, is one word. That's a dvivachana. If you look at Rama, what is a Saptami Rama or Saptami Rama Dvivachanam? Ramayoho.
Ramayoho.
So there are two. So the Palana portion of Yoho is one. This that you Os is the gives you, it tells you that it's the Saptami or Sasti. So it is used in the meaning of to protect, to rule. And this is Palana. It could be Palana means, where is it? To rule. Sorry.
Dhatu is pa, sir.
Dhatu is Pa.
Okay.
And it could come in different ganas, groups.
Okay.
And you will not know those. It requires a lot of experience, which will be given to you. You'll give a table of, in one of these days, I will show you how what sample tests I gave to the students in the midterm test. And at UPenn, you will see the bunch of roots there, and they have a lot of questions to answer. And they have to use their common sense, which root fits there.
Namaste, sir. Sorry, I joined late.
Oh no, we were saying that you will be late. I may not join.
Sorry about that.
No, that's what I'm saying. You have to know the roots, and it has properties for the roots. One of the properties, it belongs to one of 10 groups. We call the group is a Gana. And you have to know the meaning of the root. Again, in this class, until towards the end, you will not have proper memory to remember, proper remembrance of the roots. That will be given to you. What is not given is how to derive verbs. And like nouns, we will initially use a table of terminations, verbal endings like case endings, and we'll derive the verbal endings later on. And you will see that, and I was telling Balaji what happened was, when you, let me go back there, where is the Gita? Verbs. Oh, not Lakara, no, not that, sorry. Let me share, where is the Gita? This one, not that one. Is this one? Where is this? Oh, this one.
What is lakaraha?
Okay, these are verbs. Lakara is the singular, lakaraha, like Ramaha.
Lakara
Then-
means verb.
It's a verb. And you may say, why is it called lakara? We'll see that in 1 second. And now let's look at the how these things are all put together. And where is the part 1, part 2?
Why can't we say Kriya Padam, sir?
No, there are several of them.
Yes.
10 of them.
Yeah, that's the unique thing in Sanskrit.
There are 10 of them, so you have to know what we are talking about.
No, verb is normal ga man Telugulo kuda Kriya Padam antam kada.
Yeah, but which Kriya Padam?
Oh,
So there is a reason why it's lakara is given.
okay.
You will see that in 1 second. Let's look at this book. Okay. And class progress sheet, part 1. Okay, now I'm looking at part 2. So let me, I have to go back to a little bit further. Okay, we went through in one class in the beginning, said how the roots, for example, to say somebody is a poet, kavi, it comes from a root called ku, to sound.
Oh.
And from there, the word kavi comes, and it comes in first gana or sixth gana. And fortunately for you, it has the same meaning in both cases. Why it comes different ganas is like this. I explained you that when in the high school, we are put into different sections or groups. There is a reason for they put that people starting with, if there are 300 students in the class, they might divide into alphabetical order of the ages, not ages or last names or first names, depending upon, that's one way. Or when, if those of you who became a citizens during the citizenship vote taking, they will say all the people who are of Indian citizen origin stand in this line. All the people who are of British citizens stand in this line. I had a problem. Then they might say all the people whose name starts with this letter stand here. So one person could be in many groups. And that's why it comes in several groups. And when they asked me, I raised my hand. I have both Indian passport and a British passport. Where do I stand? The guy simply laughed at it. And so that's why you will see them a lot.
Okay.
And there is a sloka in Gita, a 4th chapter, Janma karma cha me divyam, evam yo veti tattvataha, tyaktva deham punarjanma, naiti mameti sojjuna.
7th chapter.
No, 4th chapter. It's in 4th chapter.
4th chapter, yeah, 7th
chapter.
sloka.
And or you have in the
Janma karma
in the 12th chapter, there is I don't know where, 12th chapter, there is he was explaining Bhagavan's 15th chapter, I think this one. Let me chant this one. Natad bhasayate suryaha, nasashanko na pavakaha, yad gatva na nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. If Bhagavan is telling, my place is that what not tat bhasayate surya. The sun will not shine, cannot shine on that place. Na shashankaha, na pavakaha. Not even moon nor Agni cannot shine on that. What is that place? Yat gatva, having gone there. Again, you don't need to remember any of this, because everything we are going to derive. Yat gatva, having gone there, na nivartante, you will not come back. Vartante is vrut, is to circle around vrutta. You remember in high school? Circle is called vruttam, vrutta. And it comes from a dhat called vrut, to encircle. Yad gatva, having gone there, Na nivartante. It does not come back. Tat dhama. Dha is to place. We all know vidhata. We use the word Brahma as a vidhata, the one who writes our destiny. So, yat gatva, having gone there, na nivartante, there is no return coming back. Tat dhama, that location is mama. That's my location. So, and the reason I gave you, we said Panchami Vibhakti is source. Ramat, source. Panchami Vibhakti is also used as a comparison. A is greater than B. So, there Panchami Vibhakti used. And I'll give an example. This sloka comes in, I think it also comes in 12th chapter. Sreyo hi jnanam abhyasat, jnanat dhyanam vishishyate, dhyanat karma pala tyagaha, tyaga shantiranantaram. Let's see, you can decipher that. Because I'm chanting this sloka and it's not right thing for me to do. Let's get to this. And it is, I think it's 12th chapter. Yeah, this is a sloka I was chanting before in the 4th chapter in the beginning. Panchamodhyaya. In the beginning it is.
Sir, we are only seeing the.
I know. I'm new share. Yeah, this is one. Gita verbs, yes. This is the 4th chapter. It's not for 26, it's the beginning. This. Yeah, the 9th sloka. Can you see this?
No, sir.
It's still showing Lakara, sir.
Okay. Where is this? Can you see this now? No. Okay, what Hazer? New share. Yeah. That's what that's very strange.
Gita.
1 second. It's showing it. This not showing this?
No.
No, it's not showing this. I could see that.
Sir, మీది iPad connect అయిందా కంప్యూటర్ connect అయిందా iPad అని చూపిస్తుంది ఇక్కడ.
A computer, Amma. I have both here.
మీ iPad ది షో చేస్తున్నట్టుంది సార్.
Yeah, that's what. Okay,
iPad తీసేయండి.
If I take the iPad, stop the video. I can't take the iPad because I can't. You are able to see the rest of mine.
We are still seeing.
I know you are still seeing
Lakara.
the lakaras.
And we
is,
lost your picture, your video.
Yeah, I removed that.
That is fine. Okay.
So this is, you are seeing this page, lakaras.
Yes.
So, but I also let me put this one here. Is this? I don't understand. Let me Okay, this is what
now
you are seeing this.
lakaras.
Okay,
Yes.
now let me go back to 12th, 4th chapter. Nine sloka. Yeah, you can see this now. Janma karma cha me divyam.
Yes.
Evam yo veti tattvataha. Tyaktva deham punarjanma. Naiti mameti sojuna. Here, janma karma. And these are neuter nouns. Next class we'll derive them right from the roots. This comes from a jan, to be born. This comes from a crew. And we'll derive them from the first principles. But the one I was now talking about is the 12th chapter.
Even in
11th,
Telugu, Janma is neuter, sir.
That's neuter. Janman, it's a pratipadikam. Pannindu. Okay, allow. There is a sloka which is important. 24th, I think. Pannindu is the. It's a 20th sloka only. There is no. Going too far. See, this one, 12th sloka. And I want you to do the grammar. Sreyo hi gnanam abhyasat, gnanat dhyanam visishyate. I will give you the meanings of stuff you don't know.
What is page number?
Huh?
Page number.
It's just 22 sloka. It's not in the books.
Oh,
It's a Gita book.
okay, okay.
12th chapter, 12th sloka.
Yeah, it's a 12th chapter and 12.
Yeah.
So, Venkatesha Garu, do you have the Gita book with you?
No.
Okay, let me see if I can. I can give you one Gita book. If you do the Padacheda, Sreyaha hi Gnanam Abhyasat. Gnanat Dhyanam Vishishyate. Dhyana Karmapala Tyagaha. Tyagat Shantihi Anantaram. The moment you do this, first thing you have to identify the verbs. Visishyate. It means it excels, better. So Sreyaha is also means better. Sreyaha is the, what is better? Sreyaha is better. What is better? Gnanam is better. Indeed, Gnanam is better than Abhyasa. Doing puja blindly is, you may be doing a lot of pujas, like when a priest comes to your home and he will be doing some, chanting something, suddenly you say, you put that, you put this, you put this. He's gone away from there. His mind is moving around. So what this sloka says, knowing what you are doing is better than repeating many times. Abhyasa. Then Jnanat, then knowledge, Dhyanam visishyate. This is Panchami Vibhakti, Dhyanam, Dhyana, Dhyanam. This is neuter, Pradhama Vibhakti. Dhyanam, contemplation, meditation is better than Jnanam. Jnanat karma phala tyagaha. Then the dhyana, contemplation, renouncing the fruits of action is better. Why? What do you get? What you get when you do the tyagat, then the renunciation, then the renouncing the karma phala, you get afterwards anantaram, you get peace. That is what you always want, peace. So this is a very beautiful sloka using the Panchami Vibhakti in a different meaning. And the one I will take another sloka in the 13th chapter, which is another interesting thing. I think this is 24th sloka, I think, 13th chapter. This is Trayodashodhyayaha, and let's take 24. Yeah, it's here. 23rd. It
13th chapter.
oh, it's not that. Where is that sloka? Let me look at this. It's 24 sloka. So I'll get to that in 1 second. And the one I was talking about is 15th chapter, which is a very small one. 15th. Here, the 6th sloka. Na tat bhasayate suryaha. Bhasayate is a verb. Na shashankaha, not pavakaha. Bhasayate verb is because it's a poem. He uses the thing. So not tat bhasayate suryaha. Not tat bhasayate shashankaha. Not tat bhasayate pavakaha. So that verb bhasayate is used everywhere. Instead of and yet gatva, having gone there, na nivartante, there is no return. That one, having gone there, that one, tat dhama, dha is to place. Dhama is your place. Tat dhama paramam mama. That is my, that's an ultimate place. That's my place. Bhagavan is telling his Shishya here, Arjuna, as Bhagavan. Krishna is telling him, because in Gita, Krishna he acts in several ways. Some as a human being, some as a ultimate reality, some who knows a lot of things. So you have to distinguish. So when you take a sloka, break them into pieces and assign grammar as much as you know. There may not be some, if you know, if you can break this into, because you have enough knowledge to break in sandhis. If you break them into pieces, initially you will be given how to break it. And then you can work reverse to get the sandhi. And you can get the, see, na suryaha, na shashankaha, na pavakaha, cha tat bhasayate. Yat gatva na nivartante tat dhama paramam mama. So this is, you can see this, how the verbs are used. Now coming back to the verbs is this one. Now I have to go back to new share. Okay. So, where is that? Okay. Now you have to, these roots, kamaha is a word to wish. It comes from a root called kam. It will come in two ganas, groups, first gana and 10th gana. Now, you will also see in here things like A, U, and P. Let me explain that. When you go to sorry. The roots, I mentioned you, Panini divided them into 10 groups based on the human existence. We exist in this world. The moment we exist, we eat. After we eat, we digest that what we eat. Then when we digest things, we show up in our face. Like if you take a plant which is not watered for a few days, it's all in a horrible shape. The moment you put water there, water reaches the roots, plant stands up properly. That is, after we eat, we digest, we show. Then when you show, when a plant is there, if there are two plants which didn't have water, they fall down. Then when you put the water, they stand up, they press against each other. And that's one gana, to press. Now, when you are a child, when a mother gives a chocolate to your brother or sister and doesn't give it to you, as soon as the mother goes out, you try to hit the other person who has a chocolate and take that. So strike that person. Then, if you can't get it, you cry. This is a human existence. Then, what you do is, in the beginning, you are a single person, you got a single bedroom. Married, you need 2 bedrooms. And have children, you got 3-4 bedrooms. So you expand, tan. Then, when you want to expand your house, if there is no space to expand, you go to next door neighbor and try to buy that. If he doesn't sell it, you steal that. So that's the human property. So what Panini did was, he divided the use of the ganas in this way. First gana I said to exist. It's a group. He named the group as Bhugana. Bhu means Sattayam, means used in the meaning of to exist. Then the second gana, it starts with Ad, is Bhakshane, used in the Bhaksha, Bhakshane, used in the meaning of eating. Third gana is, it's a difficult gana for you, Juhotyadi gana. This is, it has roots like da, to give, dana. It has roots like dha, to place, mahapranadha. It has the roots like ma, to measure. Then in the fourth gana, once the child has a food, he plays again, he enjoys, he has enough strength. He called that as a divadi gana, div, to play. Then when you can't get, you are trying to press the other guy to give you, you press, that is a Swadi Sugana. Then if you can't get it, you strike the other guy, Tudadigana. Then you expand to stretch Tanu. Tan is our body, we call Tanu. That comes from the root called Tan, to expand, to stretch. Then when you expand, you don't have a space, you buy it. This is called Kri, to buy. Krinati. It means to buy. And if you can't buy it, you steal it, chora. So Panini took the human existence and divided them into groups, and he put all the roots, he came around. And what we do in this class, because first Gana has a lot of roots, and then fourth Gana has the next level of roots, 140 roots. Sixth Gana has 157, and 10th Gana 440. So if you do this, it almost comes to 1500 out of 2000.
So all the roots in that particular Gana have the same meaning, sir, or similar meaning?
No, not same meaning, same properties.
Oh, property, okay.
For example, when we were in high school, they divided those people in the 10th grade who take some Sanskrit and math and the composite mathematics. There are some students who do not take Sanskrit, but they take composite mathematics. So in that section A, primarily it is those who take composite mathematics. And there are other people who do not take composite mathematics but take Sanskrit. They were put in the C group.
Okay.
But and then this is how it is. And these are all classical Sanskrit which we are studying. Apart from that, there are roots which are in the Veda. These are also in the Veda, but there are additional roots in Veda. And there are extra 188 there. Totally, there are 2,200 roots. And we are going to spend a lot of time in the first Gana. All the roots in the first Gana, or not all, most of them behave same way. There could be some exceptions. Likewise, the fourth Gana, most of these 140 roots behave the same way with some exceptions. And the 10th Gana, 440 roots with some exceptions. So we are going to spend a lot of time 1, 4, 6 and 10 Ganas. Okay. Then we'll spend little time on other things. And how he named them, there is a sloka here, and you can study that. Apart from the meanings, the roots, when they are used, it was in classical time. Now they change, they don't use that. The result of that usage of the verb accrues to you, self, or accrues to other person. Or it may accrue to both. So the result coming to Panini is called, it's a Parasmai Pada, it comes to you. Atmane, sorry, Parasmai Pada, it comes to other person. Atmane Pada, it comes to you. Some roots will give you both Ubhayapadi. The meaning will be accrue to, result accrue to both people. So the roots have not just only the Gana, it has the which Pada it belongs to. The Parasmai Padi accruing to other people, Atmane Padi coming to you, coming to both people, Ubhayapadi. So when you summary, we say P, A or U, that is what it means. Then I mentioned roots have either they're transitive, sakarmaka, or intransitive, akarmaka. Sakarmaka, one with the which takes a verb is called saka, saha karma. One does not take karma, akarmaka or akar.
Sir, going back to this, say first gana, bhu belongs to first gana, right?
It belongs to several ganas, but
Yeah, yeah.
bulk of it is in the first gana.
First gana. And can you give one more example for the first gana, sir? And I'm just trying to understand how the properties are.
Like, for example, we just said bhu. You see, I'm forgetting these things, and I'll give you. And
Okay. Later, yeah. Later on.
We'll give you in 1 second. Then some roots can come in multiple ganas.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you some of them. With, if it is used in the second gana, parasmaipadi, say it takes a it takes the object. I'll get to this. What is this? Say it, anit, and wait in 1 second. It used it to mean in the meaning of to know, but same with in the meaning of labhe, to obtain, to find, used in the sixth gana, ubhayapadi. That comes, somebody knows it, vindati, he gets something. You have Govinda, Gavan vindati, yasya saha Govindaha, the one who finds cows. Really, cows are, he's not talking about real cows here. The cows are mind which is wandering and fixes that.
So what is the property for with in this sixth gana, sir?
It comes in a it is sixth gana. It comes it's a to find. It's when you say the with in the dhatu pata is called vidur.
Yeah, with meaning. I mean, sorry, to find is the meaning. So that's the property.
That's its meaning. Okay. Properties sixth gana, ubhayapadi. It is sakarmaka. It takes a object. That's the property. And then
okay.
With,
got it,
to exist. It comes in the fourth gana. It is atmanepadi. And so this comes, there is a shloka in Gita. With is used in the second gana, fourth gana, and sixth gana.
Vidir yukta chetasaha, that is one way to use it, sir.
Yeah, so I will give you examples there. Yeah. These are the basic roots. Then you also can take a root and derive other roots from it. And we will use them, but we'll explain in a slightly different way. And so when you look at the root, you have to understand what gana it belongs to. It's 1 of 10. What padi it belongs to, parasmaipadi, atmanepadi, or ubhayapadi, or it's sakarmaka or akarmaka. And we'll get to this in 1 second. Then, for example, bhu. And when you see bhu, it says first 1p, first gana parasmaipadi. It is akarmaka. It doesn't take an object. And then kru comes in a 8th gana to do. It's ubhayapadi. It takes an object and it belongs to 8th gana. And then labhe, it's a first gana. And used in the meaning of to obtain.
So here, bhu and labh are
Uh.
belongs to first gana, right?
For example, gum.
What is the common property for bhu and labh? That is the thing I'm not able to get.
Oh, you will see the common property is how the verb is derived.
Uh-huh.
That is what it is. And the likewise, there is a root called drush, to see.
Mm.
And there are 13 roots out of these 2,000 roots. They, in some verbal forms, they are modified directly. Gum is a first gana root, to go. And so mukh, to be deluded, moha. And it comes in a fourth gana root, and it also comes in a second gana root. From you heard about mugdha mohana saundarya. The mugdha there is coming from somebody who is thinking about it. And Kalidasa uses them extensively in the Abhignana Sakuntalam to describe Shakuntala. And the so, and you how do you identify a root? Gana, one of the 10 ganas. You say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10. You have to identify whether it's a Parasmapadi, P, Atmanepadi, or Ubhayapadi. Don't worry about say it, and I'll explain that. Whether it is takes object or doesn't take object. And if you look through that same thing, what I gave you in a graphical form, the pure roots, not the derived roots, pure roots belongs to one of 10 ganas. Pure roots belong to one of 3 padis, Parasmapadi, Atmanepadi. It tells you what type of ending it takes. Lab is Atmanepadi. It's a labhate, obtains. Bhu is a Parasmapadi, bhavati. Nam is a Parasmapadi, namami. I bow. So, and then you have to say whether it is sakarmaka, which can be put into kartari prayoga or karmani prayoga, active voice and passive voice. And intransitive, it's only in active voice, but some exotic poets use what is called bhave prayoga. That means saying, existence is done by me. Not everybody uses that way. The moment he uses, it means this guy is a great scholar. Then by looking at the root, some roots take extra E. Some roots allow extra E. Bhavishyami, karishyami. There is an extra root, the E there. So that is called with no E, with E, optionally E. So this is a difficult thing. So all of these properties will be given to you with a root. So if I put them in a different way, I will see this. You should be able to follow this in a different way. The root, first thing is, dhatu belongs to one of 10 ganas. First gana, fourth gana, sixth gana, 10th gana. These are the things we are going to dissect and do it very clearly. Then whether it is a padi, parasmapadi, atmanepadi, or ubhayapadi, or when it is a prayoga, usage, whether it is act akarmaka, if the root is akarmaka, sorry, it's a kartari, it's an active voice, and bhave prayoga, impersonal passive. That's a exotic poets. Then sakarmaka, with a karma, you can put both in active voice and passive voice. And everything I told you before, it's shown in the pictures here. It's up to you to follow. Then I told you some roots have another property called whether it allows E. It doesn't allow E. It allows E and it takes optionally. And this it's called weight. It's not wet root, not WT. Weight means wa is or it, a plus EA. That's why weight means takes the E optionally. Then more important is the last one. Reason is when you are making the verb, you have to know what root ends with, whether it ends with a vowel or it ends with a consonant. Because if it ends with a consonant like dakara, with the pratyaya you are adding is a consonant, you have to be cognizant about consonant sandhis. That's the only reason. That is the roots you have to be. Now, the verbs, and you will see, yes, Usha, you said Kriya Padam. I've used the words of action, Kriya Padani. Pada is neuter, Padani, neuter, Bahuvachanam. And there are, why it is called Lakara is, of the 10 type of Lakaras, everything starts with a La. Present tense is Vartamane. Vartamana is the present. Vartamane in present, used in the present tense. Lat is known as a Lat. That Vartamana present tense, we simply say Lat. And if you take the Lat there, I will bring everything now in a second. There are 3 past tenses. General past. The reason I'm going a little bit fast is we did this once. And the general past, it's called lung. It's very rarely used and it's very difficult. Common thing is lung. An adyatane, adya is today. We explained that in when I explained you days of the week. An adyatane, tana tane, saptami. It is not today. An adyatane bhute. Bhuta is past, bhute in past. The thing that happened not today, that type of past tense is called lung. Now, if you look at lung, if you break that final kavarga nasal is ith letter, that's dropped. Even in lung, la and a with anunasika. The a with anunasika ith letter, that's dropped. What's left with the la? Lat, same thing, what's left with the la. What is common in the past tense is past that happened long time back, on which speaker has no direct knowledge. Simple example is, you tell your children, your grandfather told you when you were a child, his grandfather, your grandfather's grandfather did this. You have not seen that. That is what is called parokshe. Aksha is to see. Parokshe bhute lit. It's called lit. And most of the things you will see in Mahabharata and Ramayana are paroksha lit. Like Arjuna Uvacha. Uvacha, comes from a root called vach, to say. Normally it is vachati or vachami. But uvacha is the past tense, which the speaker has no direct knowledge. Reason why Arjuna uvacha is there, or Bhagavan uvacha, if you look at Mahabharata, although it's written by Vyasa, it was told to many people, and finally, when the sages are all assembled in that, not Dandakaranya, there is one Aranya in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh border. And what is the name sage? Suta. And Suta Uvacha. And we have not seen Suta. So when the speaker has no direct knowledge, you have to use that. For example, I have never been to, say, a country like South Africa. This is in South Africa. When I explain that, I have to use a little akara, past tense. It happened in South Africa in, say, 2002. I have not seen that. I heard it somebody, I read it somewhere, which I trust. Or when you say that, let's say you didn't go to Sydney, Australia, an example, and somebody describes its opera, the big hall on the bridge, nice bridge. We see them in pictures, but I have not seen that.
So then what is the difference, learn and lit, sir? Even the action that was done not today,
Yeah.
that
You are familiar with that. The
Uh-huh.
speaker has a direct knowledge.
Like suppose I saw my grandfather did this. So that is learn.
That no, lung is, yes, if it happened long time back.
And a long time back, but I witnessed. Then
You witnessed.
that is learn. Okay.
Lung.
Whereas
And
it happened, but I don't have that. I didn't.
you don't have a direct knowledge. You're trusting other people.
Okay.
And those are three past tenses. We are going to cover extensively the lung.
And learn, yeah, first one is what, sir? Then what is the?
No, sorry, I'm not going to cover extensively. That's a lung.
Lung is what? General
Is-
part is what?
No, lung is a general past, everything.
Okay.
You can use lung, but deriving lung form is very complex. You have to take each of the 2,200 roots and derive each one of them. It's not put in, groups do not work there.
So do we have that facility to use learn in place of lung?
No.
No, okay.
And we are going to derive lung, we are going to derive lat, vartamana, bhuta, and depending upon how much time we got, we are going to derive few lits. And all of these lit, lung, and lat are step by step given in your book.
Yeah.
Part 2. And in the future tense, there is a remote future, something that might happen later, long time later. And that is called lut. Or lut is a general future that will happen tomorrow. That may happen day after tomorrow. We are going to spend time looking at this general future. And all of these are explained step by step in your chapter 6. Chapter 6 used to be around 25 pages before. I increased that whole thing to around 180 pages.
Oh.
And you are going to get details of what an example for example, lut, future. You are going to get a almost like a 40-50 pages PDF copy to to say these are all the things Lut uses in Gita. So each one of them can be active or passive voice. Books are read by the boys. That's a present tense passive voice. The books were read by boys. And that is the past passive voice. So you have to be generally look at that. So normally these lakaras, lat, lung, and lo, then there is these are lakaras, then there are 4 ways of showing. When you use the verb form, you don't know whether it's an order or not. It's a potential, may happen or not. So there are what are called moods. If the mood is agnya, lot, that's called lot. Again, it's a lakara. This low Anunasika is missing up, missed that lot agnya. It's imperative, must happen. Somebody says, Shubham astu. Shubham astu. That's a lot. You will get Shubham. But in the old days, people who used those had power. Now that's gone. Everybody says Shubham astu. Or when in the temple, when the priest chants something, occasionally if you see me, at the end of he says, I says tadhastu. Let it, may will work. And then vidhiling, that is potential, may happen. It may rain tonight. It may not rain. And another one is benedictive, that is ashirvada. That these are when you look at the verb, you can immediately say which form it is, which of the 10 forms. And you can remember this, all of this are one sloka, lat vartamane. And there is another late, which I did not explain here. It is used in Vedas only, Vedic literature. The Samhitas are Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and Upanishads. They're used in there only. That's why we don't cover that. Then
just a time check. It is 9 o'clock already.
Okay, I'm going to finish off in a few minutes.
Yeah,
Thank you. And these lakaras, I want you to read all of this and go through all of these, please. And then how do you identify the lakara with this? See, I never realized time. And when you look at lakara, third person, singular, active voice, parasmayapadi, lit. Lit means anadyatana bhutane, like Arjuna uvacha or Bhagavan uvacha. Or first person, plural, passive voice, atmanepadi, lat. So instead of giving the whole of this, we may put like just only this. And all of that is explained in this picture. So it's up to you to read all of them or go through this. Verbs are derived from dhatus, kriya padam. They have properties. Verbs are first person, second person, or third person. In English, it's known as a Pradhama Purusha, Madhyama Purusha, Uttama Purusha. Then number, Ekavachana, Dvivachana, Bahuvachana, like now nouns, or voice, Prayoga, Kartari, active voice, Karmani, passive voice. And why Karmani is, it's when you use Karmani Prayoga, it looks very, very wonderful. That's why most of the poets use Karmani Prayoga, passive voice. And then these lakaras, tenses and moods, one of these tense, it could be Vartamane lat, Anadjatane bhute lang, perfect, Parokshe bhute lit. In English, the lung is known as imperfect, lit is known as perfect. I have no idea what is imperfect and perfect. If you read French grammar or German grammar, they use these things exactly. And we said future, lut and lut. We do the just bhavishyan, future in the lut. Then moods, lot, agna, vidhiling, imperative, benedictive, ashirling, conditional, kriya, kriyatipati, ling. But we are not going to do a lot of this. We do these two, lot and vidhiling extensively, and we do the lat and lung. These four, because they belong to one, the procedure, it looks similar, one group. So what we have to do is, I will go through this. In the next page, next few pages, each one of them are explained. What I explained now, they are given, each one of them are explained in detail, and I'm not going to explain. And whatever I explained, it's given here in a simple step. How do you derive a verb? Very quickly. You take a root dhatu, and this dhatu has some roots, 13 of them are modified in those 4 lakaras. And I'm going to give you the table to show you. And then each dhatu, each group has its proper specific peculiarities. There is what's called a gana vikarana. So you take the dhatu, check whether it is one of those 13 roots, then add the gana vikarana, specific thing to that gana, then add the verbal ending. What you have to know is, this is a general verbal ending, but you don't need to worry about all of that. And until you get to the lit lakara, what we do is, the lat, lung, lot, vidhiling, these page 124 or 224, sorry, 234, you see this verbal endings depending upon third person, second person, first person, singular, dual, and plural. Either parasmaipadi or atmanepadi. So these things you have to get used to this very quickly. I will use the previous table for me because I got used to them. If it is a lung, these are the different endings. Then if it is a lot order, these are then as plus 2, astu. And then whistling these endings. And these initially you have to remember. Then I also gave you, I'm going to take a couple of more minutes. These 13 roots, and they have a new form and in the verb, like drush, to see. It becomes pashya, the verb third person singular, it becomes pashyati. So this you have to, this unfortunately, until you get to know this sutra, you have to know this. You will in 2 classes, you will remember all of them, because we are going to derive all of this. Things like ish, to desire. From there, ichcha comes. Everybody knows that, ichcha. And gam to goes gacha. And yam to restrain, yacha. That is why yama comes there, the Yamadeva. So please go through this and go through this 6.51, how to derive the first gana roots, verbs. And we are going to do in the class step by step. And I give a samples here, and you derive, these are the various roots in the first gana, derive them. Third person, singular, plural, and first person plural, just as an example. Then I gave some examples for bhu and lab. Another example for ubhayapadi, bru, to support. From there the term bharta comes. And the here, look at that. This is, I gave you exercises and some regular roots and irregular roots. And what I would like you to do is finish off if you can take care of this, read it when you come to the class, next class, you will, and you will only see the difference between that and the fourth gana is how the gana vikarana changes. Rest of them is exactly the same. And same thing with sixth gana. And I gave you a lot of them. A lot of roots are given. And same thing with the sixth gana. You do 1, 4, 6 ganas, and 10th gana is given, because that's another one. Is 10th gana is a little bit complicated, but this is the 10th gana. I summarized all these things in this one, how to form that. First you have to know the gana and the root, and what happens to the root after you put the gana vikarana. Next class I will give you the gana vikarana is this, and then finally you get that and add the verbal ending, that's the root. So please go through 6.55 and right from the beginning, and if you do it by yourself, you will learn a lot. The material that's given here is meant for self-learning. It's so detailed. In fact, when I sent this book to for one Sanskrit university in India, the guy said, the professor said to evaluate, said, this looks too detailed. You're giving too much knowledge to students. I said, this is Sanskrit. If their parents did not teach them how to read Sanskrit, how to speak Sanskritam, it's very difficult. I know from personal experience. I know you all have a lot of busy work. So go through this, please. Next week, I'm going to give you a process flow diagram to do all of this. And we'll take few roots and derive them. So I'm sorry, I went a lot of them. And from now onwards, I'm not going to go in detail like this.
No, no problem.
Okay, now
Okay, sir.
let's stop here. And you can see my bald head very clearly. Now, let's ask, I think probably Subhashini might have gone because I'm late for her. And
No,
oh,
sir,
she's
I'm
here.
here.
You are here, Amma. Sorry, Talis, I just, any questions, Subhashini?
Late, sir. Too much stuff. We need to read it.
You have to read and do it on piece of paper.
Sure, sir.
And the, Usha, any questions, Amma?
లేదు,
Usha Chandrika?
ఈ రోజు లేదు సార్, బాగుంది, కొంచెం బాగా అర్థమైంది ఈ రోజు క్లాస్. ఇంకా
Usha Reddy garu, any questions, Amma?
No, sir.
Okay, and my friend Venkateshaya, any questions?
I don't have questions. Very difficult to follow.
Go through the this book you got.
Yeah.
And finally, I got response from Staples. The book should be ready anytime, the part 3.
655 next class.
And so I will go and pick them up, books, probably in the next few days. And everybody, the only people who are to get this outside the state is Madhavi.
Yes, sir. I can mail it to her.
Yeah, we'll mail to her. And only thing I ask you, everybody, is share to the cost of the books.
Yeah.
Printing. Yeah. I'm not, it's not meant to make any money. And the cost of the books. So I'll share with you.
Subhashini garu gave me the money, sir. I texted.
Yeah, she gave me, yes, yeah. I sent her the books. I also sent her the grammar for chapter 7, which the books I'm going to give you, everybody.
Yeah. I have to come and give the money to you one day, sir.
No, wait until these monies come, please. And I'm going to start the same course after Ugadi, which is Saturday morning, 9 to 11.
Oh.
So you can come there and join. No extra money is asked from you. If you want, you can join there, but continue on here, please. Okay, now, if you don't have any questions, I want to thank you.
Sir, timing eppudannaru?
9 to 11 on my Eastern Standard Time.
Adi in person lekapothe same Zoom?
Same online.
Okay.
I might do the in-person because
Saturday.
we were going to do the in-person, but the COVID become even too much problem now.
Mm-hmm.
So Chinma Mission, they may not allow in person.
Okay. So Zoom, same thing, Saturday 9 to 11.
No, Saturday night, 11 mornings.
Okay, right.
Ah.
Saturday morning.
I have a conflict with yoga practice, sir. I will see what I can do.
I know. I want you to read the first 4 slokas of chapter 4, and without any knowledge, you come out with the meaning, not meaning, what is yoga? It is masculine, feminine, or neuter. And by reading the first 3 slokas, you should be able to conclude. Okay, and that is so far I've gone too much. I think I did 17 minutes to my extra. I'm also feeling hungry. So let's chant our Mangala Charanam, please.
We are thoroughly reading this.
Saturday, when does it start?
25th of this month after Ugadi, or the following, because I'll be out from next week. I may not have class depending upon when my flights to Los Angeles are. So I will let you know, yeah, very, very soon. But before I go, I'll give you the books to Balaji Garu. So people locally here can collect it. And the Venkatesha, you got all the books.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so let's chant our Mangalacharanam, please. Please read chapter 7, chapter 6 of the part, that is part 2 of the book, which is with the green cover. So let us chant our Mangalacharanam. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai. No, sorry, not that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Purnamena.
Om Purnamida Purnamad Adas Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Yes.
So Agami Guru Vasare Punar Milishyamaha.
Dhanyawadaha, sir. Shubharatri.
Okay. Subharatri.
Thank you, sir. Hari Om, everyone.
Hari Om, everybody. Enjoy yourself. Be safe.